Hello, how are y'all doing? So, I just wanted to share something that happened to me a couple days ago. So, I'm working on being consistent with waking up in the morning, spending time with God, starting my day right. And so, a couple days ago, it was on Wednesday morning, early Wednesday morning, I was praying and I was sitting in my closet and I heard a voice in my head, or I can't remember if I was dreaming or if I was awake. I can't remember. But I heard a message and it said, you don't have to pray right now because someone else is praying at the same time for the same thing. So you can relax. You don't have to pray. And it was very comforting. It was a very comforting voice. And so I was like, okay, yeah. Then I was like, maybe I need to pray. I need to pray. I need to pray more right now. And then the voice said, you don't have to pray right now. It's other people are praying at this time. There's someone else praying at this time for the same thing. And so I was like, okay. And so I can't even remember what happened after that, but I probably was asleep. But I read my Bible and then I went to sleep in my bed. And I had a dream, and it was the same message. It was like a voice that said, it's okay, like that time, there's someone else praying at that time and for the same thing. And so I was like, okay. And so later on that morning, I went to work, and on my way to work, I said, you know what? That was the devil. That was the enemy trying to persuade me not to pray, because I had to check the fruit. And so that's not, consistent with the word of God. That's not something that God would say. So that's something that the devil doesn't want me to pray. So, and the devil is a liar. The devil's a liar. He's deceiving. He is really good at his job. He does everything that he can do, that God allows him to do. But we know that greater is he that's in us than he that's in the world. So I just wanted to share that. Be mindful, be aware, because Satan is deceiving. And anytime you hear information from people, from situations, from an event, from a dream, check the fruit. So I have to go to the Bible. I got to go to the Word of God and talk about 1 Kings 13. At this time, there was a King Jeroboam, and he was not doing things right in God's sight. And so there was a prophet that God sent to King Jeroboam to tell him, stop, and, to deliver a message to him. And so God gave him specific orders. So let's get into it. So it's 1 Kings 13. So after the prophet gave the message to King Jeroboam, the king invited him to join him for a meal. I have a gift for you. And the holy man, or the prophet, he told the king, not on your life. Not on your life. You couldn't pay me enough to get me to sit down with you at a meal at this place. I'm here under God's orders, and he commanded, don't eat a crumb, don't drink a drop, and don't go back the way you came. Then he left by a different road than the one on which he had walked to Bethel. And it's verse 11, 1 Kings 13 and 11. There was an old prophet who lived in Bethel. His sons came and told him the story of what the holy man had done that day in Bethel, with King Jeroboam, and told him everything that had happened and what the holy man had said to the king. Like, no, I don't want to eat with you. And so so this is another prophet. So the older prophet, he said, okay, well, saddle my donkey. I'm going to go see him and talk to him, this prophet. And so the older prophet went to the prophet that went to King Jeroboam, and he said, hey, come have a meal with me. Come sit with me. Come to my house. I want to have a meal for you. And then the holy man, he said, sorry, I can't do that. I can neither go back with you nor eat with you in this country. I'm under strict orders from God. Don't eat a crumb, don't drink a drop, and don't come back the way you came. But he said, oh, yeah, I'm also a prophet, just like you. And an angel came to me with a message from God, bring him home with you and give him a good meal. But the man was lying. So the holy man went home with him and they had a meal together. Okay, so this holy man, he just disobeyed God. So after they ate, that was good. After they ate, the older prophet, he said, yeah, so you disobeyed God because you came and sat with me in the meat with him and ate with me when you weren't supposed to. God told you to don't drink a drop, don't eat anything, and go home and don't go the same way you came, and look at you. So when the meal was over, the prophet that brought him back to his house saddled the holy man's donkey and sent him on his way. Now on his way, the holy man saw a lion and the lion tossed him around, and that was the end of his life. And so when the older prophet went by to his kid came by and said, hey, the holy man is off to the side of the street. And so the old prophet went over to get his corpse and properly bury it. He saw the lion just sitting there. And then he saw the prophet, the holy man on the other side of the road, just in shambles, like a rag doll in a heap. And so it was interesting to me that the lion was just sitting there and he didn't, completely eat the body. He just tossed it around. And so that lion is a representation of what the enemy will do if we are not on our toes, if we're not, keeping a relationship with God. Having a relationship with God is so important because the devil is so deceiving. He is a liar. And so the only way we can resist the enemy is to check the fruit of what's going on and to make sure that we're staying obedient to God, to remember what the word of God says and stand on that and compare it to whatever other kind of message is coming. So I just want to encourage you all to keep your eyes open, keep your toes up, just be mindful of what's going on. So this also reminded me, a few years ago, I was laying in bed. I wasn't sleeping, I was just laying in bed, and I heard what sounded like a gospel song. So it had a choir, it had the music sounded gospel, but if you listen to the lyrics closely, the lyrics were depressing. And so initially I was just like, and then I listened to the lyrics and it was like, I hang my head down low. And so when I realized that, I said, oh, wait a minute. That was the enemy. He will dress himself up to look holy. He'll dress himself up to look good, but then have these lyrics or have this underlying message that is not from God. So that's just another example. Keep your eyes open and be mindful of what's going on, whether it's through a person, whether it's through a situation. Just be mindful at work, be mindful at school, be mindful at home, be mindful in the neighborhoods, be mindful everywhere. Just be careful and always check the fruit. Thank you guys. So I have a Facebook page now, Going Into Battle. I'll post it down in the section under the video. And then I also have a YouTube channel, and I want you all to like, share, subscribe, and so that you'll receive these videos. You can receive these videos on those platforms as well. And then I'm also going live at 3 p.m. every Saturday for the month of January inside of the different social media platforms. I'm still trying to learn how to do everything because I am doing better with technology. I am. So I am looking forward to continue to share messages with you all and enjoy the rest of your day. Go Jaguars!